Howdy, we're back. The question comes up for me today. Why do we keep talking with you about how the mind works in relation to health, in relation to a healthy weight? What's that all about? Why do we keep going on and on about it?
Yeah, that's a good question. When I think about it, what I see is that the importance of how the mind works, understanding how the mind works in terms of my health, has to do with the fact that my mind, everybody's mind, is designed to help me make sense of the world around me, how life works, so that I can navigate through life safely, productively, and have an enjoyable life. And where I get in trouble with how the mind works is that so often through my mind I make associations with things that happen in the world or what I can achieve in the world as providing me with a sense of well-being.
Yeah, if I get that car, I make a certain amount of money, or I weigh a certain weight.
Exactly, have a certain level of health. So that's when I can relax. That's when I'll be okay. It's interesting, isn't it, how all of these things, these carrots that we chase in our lives, are actually just the carrot of fulfillment and well-being. Because once we get the car or the money, right, there's just another carrot because that thing doesn't give us well-being.
Yeah, well-being is what we're born with and have all the time, every moment of every day. We just don't always recognize it. And we think that it comes to us through control and achievement and reaching out and making this fit here and that fit there. And it's never true. In all the different things that I've searched for and achieved many of them, no, after several days, well, I'm still where I was. I'm still who I am.
Right. So here's where we see the difficulty comes in. That because of the nature of the human mind, to make sense of the world around us, we make associations, we make connections with things that are going to give us the well-being we're looking for, that simply don't give us the well-being we're looking for. Like the car, we get the new car and there's this hit for a moment, right? It's like, that's what I'm looking for. And I don't know, hours, days, at least in months, that car doesn't do it for me anymore. That sense of well-being has kind of washed away in time. And yet, because of the mind connecting that experience of getting a new car with this elation, I'm looking for the next thing that might provide this elation. And so I've got it associated with things outside of me, so I'm constantly chasing things outside of me. And isn't that the way it is with so many with health and weight loss, that I keep thinking, when I lose this weight, then I'll feel okay. Or actually, in my case, when I was young, I was always slender and I wanted to be this hunk. I was looking for, how can I put some weight on? But it's the same thing. It's looking to a certain condition outside of myself, believing that that is where my well-being rests.
And the work that we're doing is helping you see through all of that. I'll give you an example. We had a client yesterday who had this wonderful insight. She had her well-being very connected to how much she weighed. And she saw, oh, my well-being isn't connected to what I weigh at all. And that just opened the door to so much freedom and so many new choices without have to, pushing from behind all the time, must. Yeah, can't do this, must do that, have to count calories, whatever it is. So that's what our work is about, is to take you to the freedom of recognizing, it's that simple, pointing you to recognizing your own well-being. And as you rest in your well-being more and more, life gives you continual insights to live life in a more effortless, joyful, healthful way.
Yeah, I guess I would define insight, because that's what a lot of our work is about. is helping people have the insight that is like seeing within where they've got things connected about how life works that aren't true. You know, like when I was 6 years old and somebody pointed at my belly button and said, I have a funny belly button. I thought, in order to belong, I've got to hide that. I've got something wrong here. And how many decades that drove behavior around keeping my shirt on. You know, we make connections about how life works in terms of providing well-being, getting us home, getting us to that sense of feeling okay with ourselves. We make associations that aren't true and believe them and keep then perpetuating behaviors to try and recapture a sense of well-being or avoid a sense of lack of well-being.
Yeah, and so many of us use food for that. You know, we use foods that aren't the greatest, hoping to have a sense of relief or well-being in life. And what our work is to support you to unhook those untrue beliefs and find the freedom and the natural well-being and joyful evolution that this life is.
Yeah, the more we understand the nature of the mind and how life really works, the more insights we have and the more we unravel all those behaviors, those habitual behaviors that haven't really served us. Naturally, we don't have to use willpower or white knuckle it to change a behavior when we see what really provides us with what we're looking for. It doesn't make sense to continue that behavior. It's just that simple.
So if you're interested in learning more for free, just connect with us below and we'll spend some time talking together. Now, the recipe is a great recipe. I was making apple cucumber juice. And I thought, how can I do this simpler without having to clean my juicer? So I took the apples and the cucumber, and I decided to add a date to give it even a little more sweet because my apples were more green than red. It was so good. I whirled them in the blender and it made the most delicious saucy dish. So we'll share that with you today. Give it a try. It's quick, easy, and so delicious.
Yeah, it is. It's very refreshing
and
tasty. Bye for now.